better than us. People wish that everlasting love made me a Democrat. Unconditional, but you get it that. Count on me, I'll be there. Gifted rap from God to become one and bodies touch to the morning sun.
This is Matthew.
Hey, and I'm Sasha, and you're listening to Crazy Love Stories.
In my therapy practice, I hear some crazy stories.
And as a journalist, I have to tell some of those stories.
We've got a good show for you guys. I've got the keys to what men find attractive.
And we're throwing it back, taking it all the way back to high school. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Crazy Love Stories is a Simon Says Creative Works production. Our theme music is composed by Jordan J. River. Follow us on Twitter at Crazy Love Stories. That's LUV. For more dating and relationship advice, check out New Perspectives by Matt Phifer. Visit his website at newperspectivesdating.com.
I was listening to a podcast today on my way home from work, and it kind of had me thinking, when the heck did dating become so difficult? It featured 4 single women that were a part of a focus group.
Waiting to exhale.
No, it was a focus group. Like oh my God. It was a focus group. Mm-hmm. And the host was sort of asking them all these questions about dating and things that they preferred. And most of them, because they're so turned off from dating, mm-hmm. were basically saying they preferred to be single and mm-hmm. they just didn't want to bother with the whole scenario. It just kind of led me to thinking, when did it get so hard? I remember my first date, I was in high school, and it just seemed so easy back then. Mm-hmm. It's like...
But how did it work for you?
I mean, you call, you make plans, you mm-hmm. show up at the movie theater, and you watch a movie, and then it's like, okay, bye.
So let me ask you this. Were you a nerd in high school?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't a nerd, but I was smart. But...
like a nerd. What else?
I was smart, and I got along with a lot of people and did cool things. I played a little bit of sports, but what does that have to do with anything?
Well, it has a lot to do with a lot of different things. So, you were pretty popular in high school. Do you remember who the most popular person in high school was? You don't have to say their name, but do you remember that person? As far as a girl?
Yeah, or like a certain crew. Like, mm-hmm. back then it was like crews, like
mm-hmm.
the 90s.
Every crew has the crew leader, right?
Yeah.
And what was that person like?
I don't know, they just seemed like the person that everyone in the crew wanted to be like, or mm-hmm. The person that just had it all together, the person that would be the center of the fight if there was a fight, just their go-to.
Mm-hmm. And I'll speak for the guys. There's always a more dominating male, usually captain of the football team type, right?
Yeah.
One who's really popular. Girls want to be with him. Guys want to be like him. Class clown, but not to the point where the teachers can't stand him. And for the girl, it's usually more of like the captain of the cheerleading team, right?
Right.
What is it about these people that draws people in? Typically, people always talk about the alpha male. We rarely talk about the alpha female.
How would you define the alpha female?
Alpha female is someone who walks with a certain confidence, someone who takes excellent care of herself, someone who has standards when it comes to the guys that she dates. And there's a reason why she has those standards, and that's because she knows that she can pretty much choose whichever guy she wants, and she has options.
What about ladies who aren't the definition of an alpha female? Are they the ones that are unlucky in love?
Well, everyone has alpha qualities to them. What it is that it's truly just the best version of yourself. So an alpha female has certain qualities and has a certain confidence because she's carried herself for. So she's been told since she was 5 that she was the most beautiful. She's been, in gymnastics or cheerleading. And of course, I'm using these as an example. Maybe it's a pianist. Maybe it's someone who's very smart with grades, like you were. But it's someone who possesses a certain confidence and has grown up in that confidence and just took off with it. Well, not everyone has the perfect scenario growing up, but just because that might have been, just because your past wasn't the greatest, that is not equal to your future. And you can always make changes, and you can always change the outcome of where you're headed as well.
Learning about the alpha female is very interesting. But when it comes to all types of females and all types of males, I think what it all boils down to when it comes to attraction, which is what we're talking about today, is that initial approach. A lot of people want to know, how do I even get there to that point where I'm this desired person that someone else would be interested in? How do I get someone to be interested in me?
When you're looking at levels of interest, not only do you want to look your best in terms of the way you're dressed, the way that you carry yourself, but there's something to be said about being in a place that you are at your best and you are at your most confident. What I mean by that is some girls don't feel comfortable in the club all the time. That being said, if they go to a club and they're giving off a vibe that they're not as confident, then they're not going to attract the type of male, the type of person that they necessarily want, because we always want to attract the best type of person that we possibly can, correct?
Right.
So for some people, that setting might be, I'm just throwing things out, might be a bookstore, it might be a gym, it might be happy hour, it might be at work. But wherever you are most confident in is a place that you should spend more time in. Most people, when they're looking for someone, they go straight to the club. They go straight to the bar. And that's not always where you are going to be your most presentable. It's not always going to be where you're at your most confident.
I know that many women are guilty of this. You tell me if this is something that men do. But before they even get to that point, they write a list. They make a list. They have like a wish list of what they're looking for in a mate. Mm-hmm. And they strive to achieve everything that's on that list. They compare people that they meet and potential dates to characteristics on that list. And sometimes those people just automatically don't measure up because they've created sort of this false sense of perfection, or this false level of perfection, that probably doesn't exist out there. What do you think about a list?
I think that there definitely should be some standard, right? There definitely should be some level of what you're looking for in another person. But I think that what is more, actually, let me say, just as important as a list and what you're looking for is looking inward and making an inward list of qualities that you feel that you possess, because we attract what we are. Attraction is actually not a choice. You attract what you are. So if you're making a list of a person, let's say that you're sitting down and you want someone that's a great communicator, very successful, makes a lot of money, this and that. If you don't possess those type of qualities yourself, it is not going to happen.
Like attracts like?
Like, that most definitely attracts like. And not only that, but like attracts like stays with like. So what tends to happen a lot is we meet people, and of course there's a courtship and you start dating, and when like does not attract like, and there's differences, they explode in our face. So how frustrated would either one of us be if we met someone that was extremely needy and couldn't, there's times where you work extremely late. There's times where I'm up very early in the morning or gone pretty much all day. And then even once we do come home, we're still working.
Right.
Someone who's needy would not appreciate that, not one bit, and it would drive them nuts.
They'd constantly want your attention.
There's times where we don't talk at all during the day, right?
Yes.
And we're perfect.
Today was one of those days, actually.
Yeah.
Did you call me at all? No, you didn't.
No. Mm-mm.
And I was just so busy, I didn't notice until right now.
For some people, that would drive them nuts, and that's fine. Some people, they want, a certain level of communication throughout the day, but you have to be honest with yourself. Am I giving off? Am I the type of person that I want to attract? And if you're not, all's not lost. You just need to work on some things. If you're a bad communicator and you want someone who is a good communicator, then learn how to communicate. Study it. Read up on it. If you want someone who, and I'm not saying that you have to have everything all together, but you definitely need to be heading in that direction. If you have bad credit and you want someone that is good with finances and makes good money, then you definitely need to start studying things up on it. I mean, when you get with these type of people, they're going to want a certain life, and if you can't provide that, then you're going to lose that attraction.
That credit one, that's a really good one. That's a big one too. People seem to take that for granted and just think that they can just lean on the other person when they've just completely messed up theirs. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. So that's a huge indicator of how much, how responsible you've been before meeting this person. I asked some people some questions with relation to attraction. One of the things that came up was, what does it take to find what you want in a new relationship?
Rewind what we just said. So everything that we just said as far as like attracts like. Yeah. A lot of people stay in the house and they don't do anything. You need to fill your schedule. You need to go out. You need to meet new people. I remember a time you and I went to, this is also key. I'm going somewhere with this, so just be patient for 1 second. Okay. You and I went to watch a comedy club. We went to a comedy club to watch Bill Bellamy. And you remember that lady that was in front of us? God, I hope she's listening to this right now. She was so freaking rude.
In front of us?
In front of us in line.
Oh, in line. Yes. I remember her. I remember
Esther,
her.
A simple question.
Yeah.
All I wanted to know was if this was the line for the 10 o'clock show. Because, we had VIP sections and this and that. And I was just trying to figure out if I had to wait in line or if I could just go right through. And she could barely turn, gave me a half answer, and so where I'm going with this is that she doesn't know who I am. Even if I am there with my girlfriend, she doesn't know my friends. She doesn't know she was single. Just I want to make that clear. Yeah. Very, very single.
She was clearly single.
Right. And she doesn't know if I have friends. I mean, she could have easily been much more open, much more pleasant, sparked a conversation, and you just don't know what happens. You don't know if someone has a son, if they're like an older gentleman, older woman. You just don't know. People go places and they're not open anymore. They turn people off. They feel like people are bothering them constantly. What type of person wants to hook people up with? People used to hook people up with friends and just say things all the time. Long before you and I met, I remember I was working at Verizon, and I was very pleasant to this woman, and she gave me her daughter's number. like it was nothing. Said I was, a kind gentleman. Felt like we, not clearly things didn't work out, but you just never know. You always have to be open.
You're saying with this particular lady, had she been open, just been a nice person, been receptive to the fact that you were simply asking a question about, were we in the right lineup, etc. She never knows. You could have had someone that she could have connected with, and you could have put her in touch with someone that she might have been compatible with.
Right. So A, become the best version of yourself. B, get off the couch and fill your schedule. C, be kind to people, regardless. A lot of women they're only kind to guys that they find attractive. Be kind to everybody. You don't know who is who. You don't know what is what. Just have a nice demeanor, a nice aura about you. Laugh, smile. Those are the type of things that people in general are attracted to. Be an attractive person in a personality, not just to the guys that you like, just in general.
Right.
You're gonna get hit on by some of the guys that you're not attracted to. So what? You'd rather get hit on by guys that you're not attracted to and eventually find the right one than to turn every single person that's turning off the cashier, turning off this person, turning off that person. You never know who's behind you in line. I have a lot of single friends. I could have easily hooked that girl up, but I turned away and was like, forget that.
Her loss.
Exactly.
I want to throw a question of my own in here. When it comes to dating online, how does attraction come into play? People are putting up pictures sometimes that are not even their own. Obviously, attraction is a little bit different here, where that's what you're leading with when you're dating online, correct? That's the first thing you notice is what the person looks like. Some people take the time to read profiles, but should you still follow some of the same
absolutely
rules that you're talking about here?
Online dating, obviously very popular, but that doesn't change anything. So to me, online dating, it might have its own rap and things of that nature. But with online dating, to me, it's no different from meeting someone anywhere else. It's just a different platform to do it. When you meet someone at a club, at a bar, or in a grocery store, you don't know that person. Same way you don't know the person know the person online. So when you make your profile, when you put your pictures up, you need to show a full life.
That's important.
You need to show that you are regardless if you're busy due to career or you're busy because
you have kids,
or show that. But people need to see what type of life they need to see. A life, period. They can't just see a bunch of selfies and say that you like to. You don't do anything and you sit at home and you watch TV all day. Well, guess what? If that's what you're putting on your profile, don't be surprised when a guy says, "Hey, let's Netflix and chill" on the very first date, because guess what you presented, right? But if you present a full life, someone who's busy, someone who enjoys life, someone who likes to do things, then maybe you're going to attract a different type of person.
That's interesting. It just brings me back to the days where I was...
Don't get me preaching in here.
Brings me back to the days where I was dabbling in online dating. I just remember seeing a few profiles that it's like, really, your selfie, just you sitting in the backyard by yourself, hoodie on.
Boring.
I can barely see your face. Or I can tell that you cropped somebody out that was next to you that was probably a woman. All of that stuff, not attractive. And then you have 2 sentences on your profile.
Right.
That's another piece that just tells me you don't read or write. So I don't have time for you.
Right.
In conclusion, how does one get someone interested in them?
To get someone interested in them, you have to be open. Be friendly, not just to a guy that you're attracted to, if you are rude to people 90% of the time, you're not going to be prepared when a guy that you do like comes up to you. You need to be nice all the time, and you need to be open and friendly, and you need to become the best version of yourself. You need to become what you want to attract.
Right.
If you are looking for a guy that's kind and friendly, nice sense of humor, a guy like that is not going to want to be with someone that has a scowl on their face all the time. I can't tell you how many times that guys walk in somewhere and they see women being pretentious, screw-facing people. Guys will see women doing that to other guys and doing that to other people, and then it just turns them off. They don't even want to approach you when you're doing those things. They don't even want to approach you if you have a frown in your face all the time. And even if they do happen to talk to you, it's not going to be for any of the right reasons. Even if you're attracted to that guy, you've already lost. You've already turned him off. So going back to how we opened this up, the alpha female, right? Popular, smiles, laughs, good with fun around the women and the guys. If a guy sees you laughing with other guys and is able to joke around and banter, he's going to feel comfortable not only talking to you, but also eventually taking you around his guy friends, knowing that that you can hang, but at the same time that you're going home with him.
Like the music you're hearing? Check out Jordan J. River on SoundCloud. Our cover art was designed by Kashta Media. Listen to Crazy Love Stories on SoundCloud and iTunes. And don't forget to subscribe.
Very good advice.
Thank you. Worked for you.
Please.